Hello everyone, it's me, Codenine Styles, and I'd like to thank you all for 300 subscribers. I really appreciate it. And as a reward, we'll be going over some scrap videos and such. So yeah, let's get to it. Now that I have face revealed, we can now talk about some scrapped videos, assets, and etc. Though keep in mind that I'll only talk about the ones I still have, as it'll be pointless as shit to talk about ones that don't have at least one file of it for proof. And also keep in mind that some of these might have been unintentionally scrapped and rather forgotten and etc. Also, here's a sneak peek of a video that was being worked on that's being paused for this sub special. Anyways, now that I have established those things, let's get to it. Now first of all, you guys might be wondering, what the fuck is a Veadotube? Well, to explain it better, you know those like PNG tubers and wonder how they managed to pull that off? Well, that's what Veadotube is, and setting it up is easy. But back to the main topic. So the thing is that I had a fully set up Veadotube of my Roblox avatar, and also had thought of making a Stella towerheroes one, as shown by these folders, though the Stella Veadotube folder is literally fucking empty. So yeah, it's most likely that I have forgot or just lost interest or etc. However, looking back, they seem like they would have been a cool thing to use on stream. But anyways, here is a showcase of it. So this is it. This is the Veadotube in question. And before we go over some stuff, let me first explain some things. So this is the microphone volume cutoff. As it says when I hover on it, you can like set it, and I recommend like at a consistent one, which for me it's 20%. So basically, when your volume goes above this line, your character speaks, and I recommend setting the microphone delay duration to 0 like mine for more accuracy. And this is where microphone settings, display settings, program settings, and avatar settings. But so the microphone, as it suggests, is for, you know, obviously the microphone. But there's like this like noise reduction in case you need it. So yeah. Anyways, I actually had some setup states like the neutral one and an angry one. So yeah. So yeah, that was all. And I mean the showcase. So yeah, they obviously would have been a nice thing on stream. But anyways, on to the next one. If you're in the RetroDev Discord server, you might have known that they sometimes do these game nights, where as the name suggests, we hop on whatever Roblox game or RetroStudio game has been picked, and that's all. Pretty simple and straight to the point. I looked at that and thought to myself, wouldn't it be better if I were to stream those game nights? However, even though I already had the thumbnail ready, I had changed my mind about it. Which, thinking about it now, it makes sense, considering how pointless and useless it'll be to stream RetroStudio's game nights. Like for example, some of them would be too short or just get cancelled. So yeah, on to the next one. Now this is the first one on the list that's a Roblox Studio file. And it's a Roblox animation suggested by Bonnie, which is based off of this video that you might recognize called M is Bad, which is an animation that, let's just say, it contains some questionable and some crazy shit as shown in the thumbnail, if you understand what's going on there. But anyways, back to the main topic. So Bonnie suggested me to make a Dynasty World animation based off of M is Bad, but with Goob and scraps, which are confirmed to be siblings, which will also feature a recreation of that scene from the video seen on the thumbnail, but with goop and scraps, which obviously will be censored, but still. So it's safe to say I had a valid reason to scrap the video by my own choice, but let's continue. Also, here's the script for the animation. Go ahead and take a look and a read. Also, I have the RetroStudio file where I would animate it, and just so you know that it takes place during a party, just like in the original. But anyways, let's get to the showcase. Alright, so this is it, the RetroStudio file where the animation would take place in. And this is the party in question that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, it says TikTok Riz Party. So let's just take a look. Yeah, you could tell it's like really unfinished. I mean, I don't need to explain, you can see it for yourself. The only thing here is just a table. And I think I forgot to put some lightning. Oh my gosh. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure how to explain this, but this building that's really basic, it's based on the type of buildings I would see in a party. Though I don't want to show the pictures for reference because yeah, I just don't believe it's a good idea. So yeah, I don't remember which room is which. Though I know is that this room is like for eating and shit, while this one probably could be the same, while this one probably like at the main one. I can't even figure out how to like, not even camera tricks will help with, you know, this like, yeah, you can tell it's really unfinished. I mean, it might be obvious to some of you, but I don't remember it being this unfinished. So yeah, that's all. Anyways, now that we are done with that, on to the next one. Now the thing about this one is that it's best if I just show. Feel free to pause and process what you're looking at. Yeah, this might be one of the most random things without any context whatsoever, but my best guess is that this was supposed to be for a banner most likely. Though I still feel like including this because it's so random and specific that it's kind of interesting. But anyways, on to the next one. This one, surprisingly, is a Tower Heroes map submission. And a really special one if you ask me, as it's based off something. So I want you to guess what the map is based off, especially by the name of the file, Cataclysm map.rblx. If your guess was the geometry level Cataclysm, then you're actually correct. However, the problem with it is that let's just say it barely meets the quality standards of Tower Heroes maps that you wouldn't even fucking know is meant to be a map for Tower Heroes. Here's the top view of it to give you guys a good idea of what I mean. Looking back at it, you wouldn't even know it was meant to be a Tower Heroes map, so it's no wonder why I randomly scrapped it. Plus, I don't believe Pixelbit Studio would want a map that references something, like in this case, a geometry level anyways. But onto the showcase. Alright, so this is the Cataclysm map. We're gonna take a closer look at it and oh my. you know, as good as it may seem, it still doesn't fit with Tower Heroes map standards. On this one, like with the it's based off of that one clubstep monster in Cataclysm that has the same look where it has that half closed eye. But anyways, there's also this just some variation, and it seems that this might be the spawn. Oh, there's yeah, this might be it. Yeah, this one is this. Actually, yeah, this one seems more like the spawn. In fact, oh yeah, wait, princess? Wait! Okay, that's actually, I didn't expect that. Oh, this one isn't grouped. Well, silly me, but bad. For those who are wondering why the path is so straight, well, let me just get B tools and just let me just you know, make a 4x4 like this maybe. I can just whatever, just set it, man. Why is it always 15 for default? Like, dude. So gap fill, and look what happens. See, it does this this weird thing, which maybe one stud. Yeah, that doesn't do anything. Doesn't. And when I try, it just does this, and it doesn't work. Like, here, let me just try it again. Maybe it's just distance based. Maybe do it like this. Maybe, but maybe it will work. No, it's still yeah, it has to be. Yeah, I have to be doing something wrong. Obviously, because why else would it be like this? So yeah, now you know. Because dude, why does it do that? But anyways, just see honestly, looking back, for something that was modeled purely in Roblox without any stuff from Blender and only just using the meshes from, you know, the toolbox, by going here and just searching for some that fit what I want. Like, for example, for the teeth, to make it accurate, I just get some spikes, just like in the original. So yeah, that was it. The Cataclysm map, which, yeah, nobody would know it's meant to be a Tower Heroes map. Oh my. Yeah. As I already said, I don't believe Pixelbit Studio would want a map that just a whole reference to a Geometry Dash level. But anyways, on to the next one. Now the crazy thing about this one is how massive it would have been if it wasn't scrapped and was actually finished. But before we get to it, let me ask you fellow viewers a question. Do you know about that one specific FNAF fan game named Five Nights at Treasure Island? If so, then good, because it'll be important for this. Because what if I told you that I wanted to make a Roblox animated horror movie, but not just any Roblox animated horror movie, but a fucking Roblox animated horror movie about Tower Heroes based off Five Nights at Treasure Island itself. And I already had some designs for some of them, but before I show them, keep in mind that all of these are unfinished, and there could have been more to them in terms of details and such. It should be no wonder why I have to let you guys know that they were unfinished. But anyways, what if I told you that the area it takes place in is also based off of the one in Five Nights at Treasure Island, based on the rooms seen with cameras and such. I also had came up with a random main cast, which consists of 4 characters, which are James, Emily, Troy, and Brenda. So basically just some random regular people, and the title I came up with it was some random shit like Tower Heroes, Abandoned Soul Within. However, here's the thing. Even though I had already came up with stuff in mind, like the area it will mainly take place in, the designs and such, there was one thing that was missing that should have been first fucking before the rest. The plot. However, if I had to make up a plot for this right now, it would be summarized like this. A group of exploiters and hackers hack Tower Heroes and vandalize it, going as far as to even kill the towers themselves. It all happens behind Hylo's back, and when he returns and finds out about what happens, he becomes devastated and such, which could include an emotional scene where he has a breakdown and such. And the towers, on the other hand, are brought back by something, with one main problem is that they have developed a hatred they can't control. And before it all actually starts, the towers let out a speech about it, talking about some... And then we began to hate. And something along those lines. And the ending will be the place being destroyed in some way, while the towers have their souls metaphorically freed by being destroyed, and Hylo along with others turning out fine. Basically a good ending that makes sense, though back then I could see myself making Hylo the villain, with the design for him being based off of this specific one named Walt. Though there's an issue, and it's that if I were to try and make it again, I would have to fucking rewrite and redo some stuff to make it stay faithful and accurate to the source material. Because back then when I was making it, which was in 2024, the Tower Heroes lobby looked like this, but now it looks like this. So I would have to rewrite this area right here as like some storage room, or whatever suits well, which would be like from the door in the lounge, because that would make the most sense. And for the title, I would rename it to One Night at the Tower Heroes lobby. So yeah, that's all I want to say about it. Now on to the showcase. Alright, but first we're gonna take a look at the map, specifically here because there's actually something there. And honestly, I think I did pretty well, especially the decoration, though this right here feels out of place. Oh, and also the vents. Safe to say I messed up. I mean, it looks kinda off, but who cares. And also, here's the texture pack I used for this, and it shows like what each one is for, which is pretty helpful and handy, and I appreciate it, though I don't remember where I exactly got it, but who the fuck cares. It's just a texture pack, not that serious. But now onto the designs. And in case nobody has realized it yet, this is meant to be photo negative Card Kid. Here's a side-by-side comparison for reference and proof. So yeah, and you know, now that I have mentioned it, I'm gonna try and make like the one that's based off that one version of photo negative Mickey that has like those eyes, also known as True Mickey and such. So let me try that. I'm just gonna like search like maybe this one and just group it, maybe like this size, and see like if it works. Like, yeah, I think that's small enough, though let me just check. Yeah, the pivot is fucked, so I'm just gonna fix it. and set the origin to the head so it can be easy to, you know, make it just, and okay, yeah, this is not gonna, oh no, it even looks worse from the side since you can see like the ew, no. Oh yeah, that was a bad idea, but hey, maybe if I just do something like this where it's like, let me just show the process, like their origin, and just like, you know, just like this, and yeah, never mind. I mean, actually, yeah, I think that's actually good enough, actually. Yeah, I think that's good enough, but still looks goofy, or at least maybe not, who cares. But anyways, you know, the reason why they're made like this is because back then I didn't know how to model good. However, now that I have, you know, learned the basics of Blender and such, I could try and recreate these like the actual models, because it could have been worse, though. Like I already said, these designs are not final, and you know, let me check like the okay. Yeah, I feel like they could have been really unoptimized. Like, wait, what's this like? Oh, and also this like unnecessary. I mean, whatever. These designs are not final anyways. So, yeah, that's all. So that's all, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you all for 300 subscribers. But most importantly, thank you for watching. See ya, everyone!